Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features the top-scoring pass offense in the NFL. The Falcons are top 10 in passing TDs, and they'll go against the Steelers, who are very aware of what they'll be dealing with. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by one of the more mobile quarterbacks in the league, and that's Tyrod Taylor.
7-6 as a first-time starter in 2015. He did a really nice job taking care of the football. 20 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure, but it falls incomplete, and it's second down. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. That'll bring up second down. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
When it comes to Le'Veon Bell, it's not about the numbers. It's about his style. And when we watch him run the football and almost stop time behind the line of scrimmage before he finds the hole he wants to run through, it's a style that's his and unique to him. I'm not sure everyone else can emulate it.
So the D-line's going to spread out.
Come on, let's go.
Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. The starting defense for the Falcons.
When evaluating Grady Jarrett coming out of college, I had a great discussion with numerous scouts, and they all loop back to the same thing about it, his quickness. And we saw that on display in the Super Bowl against New England, where he worked inside and caused all kinds of havoc and pressure up the middle. Excellent movement skills, can get to the quarterback, and knows how to make plays.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, it's Taylor. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So a long field ahead for the Falcon offense as they head out. They'll be led out by their 6'7" quarterback out of Memphis. It's Paxton Lynch.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Here's Elliott. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. To throw is Lynch. They'll roll him out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Man, what do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Now let's go.
Now they'll look to throw it with Lynch. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Let's really illuminate linebacker Ryan Shazier. Has the speed of a safety. In fact, coming out of college, some people clocked him at sub 4.4 in the 40, but also the ability to go up and down the line of scrimmage and thump just like the linebacker he is.
And his 4th year in the league now, coming off his first Pro Bowl. On 3rd down, Lynch. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Lynch. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
All right, here we go.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. And his throw is incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On 3rd down, Elliott. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On second down, Taylor. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, that was the safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On second down, it's Bell. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On third down, Taylor. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. It's the Falcons with the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. Lynch to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Hurry up, here we go.
To throw on third down, Lynch fighting, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
They'll be singing in the shower post-game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Here we go now.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Coleman now. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And now Lynch. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
On second down, Lynch steps away to his left, and he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Lynch. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Taylor to throw on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Now it's Taylor. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it's second down.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they timed it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
To throw is Taylor. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. 3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. David Irving in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC, and it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On second down, here's Lynch. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Here we go now.
On third down, Lynch being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
This is Elliott. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go. Let's go. Over.
They'll throw on first down with Lynch. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Clint carried out for Elliott. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do it.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And they're going to go soft on the corners.
Here we go. Let's round.
On second down, here's Taylor. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. 3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Falcons are happy to be sitting in the locker room with a lead. The Steelers just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. 3rd down from the 48. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and he'll make it out to the 34-yard line. Falcons still would settle for just a field goal. 1st and 10. Lynch is on point with the throw, and he'll end up at the 35-yard line before being tackled. Unfortunately, they would have to settle for just a field goal. They'll line up right at the 22-yard line. Reed's going to haul in the pass, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to their own 47-yard line. However, they only come away with a field goal on the drive. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Around the NFL, second quarter in Chicago. The Patriots, they're out to an early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From midfield now, here's Lynch. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. It doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a first down.
Throwing here, Lynch on first down. And this is caught inside the 5. A gain of 32 that time.
They took a shot downfield towards the end zone, and he came up with a big-time catch, but he was tackled a little bit short of the goal line. Now the defensive guys, they got to pick their heads up and try and hold them to a field goal attempt.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll try again with Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll go again with Bell. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. James has it. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. His throw incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Let's go.
A give to Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Elsewhere at Arrowhead there in the 3rd quarter, making a full 2-touchdown lead now for the Titans. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Forced out to his left. They find some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll try and run for it without him. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
This is Coleman. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lynch. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard.
To throw on 3rd down. Lynch. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Lynch on 1st down. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll go down at the 28. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. Throwing again here, Lynch. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Elliott. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. Lynch to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Taylor. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty. But it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Coleman. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Coleman. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20. Long drive here, and it goes on and on. To throw on second down. Lynch. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be run over. Hit hard as he'll be marked down. That catch good for 8, but still, it's third and goal now. And this offense on third down today, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They're looking at a third and goal here. Here's Elliott. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it 6, maybe 7, but now they're left with 4th down and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt. Holding offense.
They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, second-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
After the penalty, it's Bell. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Second down following the run. Now Taylor with a draw to Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And the Steelers on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be third and a mile. From the gun, it's Taylor. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw
and he loses the football a second time. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kevin Coleman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But Let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. A screen to Bell. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. The first down screen pass, good for 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still second down.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38.
Taylor now looking to throw on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Taylor on third down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Let's go. Green, cut.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Let's go. Green 19. Hut.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were